What is happening, guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Made by Miles podcast. Today, I'm joined by a very special guest, which some people will know, but maybe some of you won't know. But we've got Lewis McFarlane on the podcast today. And the reason why we want to bring Lewis in is he is a specialist in his field when it comes to male transformations, both physically and mentally. But the main reason why I want to get Lewis on to discuss certain areas is one thing that I know, and anyone that knows Lewis will most likely agree on, the guy walks his own path. And something that I see a lot of guys struggle with is the fear of judgment off of other men. And Lewis has this knack for himself and everyone that he works with to learn to not give any fucks. And it's something that I really, really do respect in him. And I know for our listeners that they can take a lot away from this, both male and female, because at the bottom line, we live in a world where comparison is the thief of joy. And Lewis is going to fucking whip that right out of you in this episode, man. So, as I say, we will really get right into this. But guys, before you listen any further, please pause. And if you haven't already, like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. And if you are watching on Spotify, give it a wee share onto Instagram, tag us in it, tag Lewis in it, and make a wee bit of noise just so we can get more people brought into the Made by Miles podcast. But let's get right into this, Lewis, mate. So, as I say, mate, slight wee introduction there, and anyone that's looked at the thumbnail knows how to give zero fucks.
Yeah.
But the main thing is, mate, I want to kind of dive into, man. How have you got to a point in your life, mate, where generally you do just walk your own path?
Where do I start?
You can start from the beginning, wherever you want.
Start from the beginning. I'll try to run through it quite quickly, but grew up, small town, Largs, west coast of Scotland, loved skateboarding, so already, when all your friends are footballers or basketballers, team sports and stuff, I'm over on the left-hand side just skateboarding, single sport, kind of like, I don't know, off in its own district of what kids do, but I got really into skateboarding, and I mean like obsessed, so became a sponsored skateboarder pretty young, competed around the UK, got really good at it, that was going to be my thing. I was like, I'm becoming a pro skateboarder or nothing. That was it. Even through school and stuff, first, second, third year, I was like, fuck all this. I'm going to be a pro skateboarder. I'm going to be the next Tony Hawk. I do not need to care about what's going on. But with skateboarding, it's you're amongst a dynamic of person. You're not just hanging around with people at your age. I was hanging around with guys that were 25, 30, got exposed to drinking and smoking weed and stuff and graffiti and a different style of dressing and all this stuff that normal people would not have. I say normal people, but just the average population.
The common.
Footballers and stuff like that. And I was always just a little bit different, quite artistic as a kid, really funny, class clown, kind of didn't really take myself too seriously at all. Until that came with its own backlash, because with me not taking myself seriously, it kind of held me back from doing the things that I knew I was fully capable of doing, right? So got to a point, maybe about 16 years old, a couple of knee injuries, a couple of bad injuries. I started seeing what other guys were, meeting girls and going out and partying and doing this kind of stuff. And I was like, I kind of want some of that, but I lacked the social confidence, because I was I'd been brought up in almost such a unique setting of being a skateboarder, traveling up to Glasgow, hanging about with such a dynamic of person. And I was like, right, I need to work on me here. I need to build me. And that's where I found the gym. And it was my older brother that got me into it. He was, again, kind of edgy in his own right. He had the purple hair, he was running, he was lifting weights. It was just kind of aspirational big brother, quite good shape for, a couple of years of training. And I was like, I want some of that, So I started exercising, started working out. He gave me a workout split in the back of a Tony Max notepad, because he was working in a restaurant at the time. And I was just like, one summer, I think I was maybe 15 or something, I'm going all in on this. And I've got a very obsessive personality, not with lots of things, but see, when I find my thing, I make it my craft, my art, my passion, everything. I change my entire direction of life for the thing. So the gym became that. And, the skateboarding career slowly started to fade, because I wanted to to see what the other side was looking like. So building the physique disappeared for one summer, and I came back to school, and I had not long hair, not long curly hair anymore. I had short, fade. I had veins in my arms. I started wearing like a tight pink ASOS shirt. I just changed my alter ego completely. Yeah. And I think relevant to this podcast, and it kind of leads us nicely in, everyone's got an alter ego, right? And it's usually an identity gap. But think about, Superman and Clark Kent. Clark Kent's just your average guy. Clocks in, clocks out, but he's got Superman, which is the real identity, like the powerful identity, the arc that you can step into. It's the same person, but different man. Okay? Same with Batman. You got Bruce Wayne, but you got Batman. So everyone's got this alter ego. Everyone's got this other identity, which they can actually leverage and use. But it's about creating that image in your head and becoming that image and bending reality to suit that image so other people view you and see you as who you truly want to be seen. Because I think a lot of guys care so much about changing who they currently are because they're scared of what the potential upside or downside could be. It's like either you fear failure or fear success, if not a bit of both. So people stay in the comfort zone. Whereas I've always been very courageous to step outside that circle and feel the heat, feel the pressure. And, when I was, 16, 17, I was right into the, what was that thing used to be called? It's like date maxing. I think everyone calls it maxing now, but like the art of dating, how to hold frame, how to improve your confidence even when you're not confident. I was reading all these books on how to become a different person.
The guy, if you
the
will.
man, and I was, I was on these forums, I was on Reddit, I was like on bodybuilding.com, and I was like really getting into the meat and veg of like how to just like grow my character, improve my identity. Because for a long time I still had the lagging belief and weight of I'm still shy, I'm still unconfident, I'm still this person, I'm still identifying as this. But then I outweighed the negative thoughts and beliefs with positive thoughts and beliefs through personal development, through working on my articulation, through tidying up how I looked, through being more presentable, being more polite, taking more time with my speech, and just almost viewing my old tendencies as negative tendencies. So instead of being the class clown, I started being the calm guy. And when I would go out and socialize, instead of trying to be the loudest, I'd be the quietest and the calmest, and I'd kind of move with an aura and an energy, or at least I tried to. And it started working. Started getting female attention, started being invited out to parties more, started becoming more popular. And I started building on me more, and I was like, I'm starting to see there's a trend here. You can change yourself to bend the perception of other people's beliefs upon you to get what you want in life. Right, and this is like when you go down quite, not like a psychological path, but I've always been deeply interested in psychology, even without knowing what it was about. But again, there's 4 traits: thoughts, beliefs, actions, behaviors. Your inner world, exposes your outer world. So if you can change how you think, how you feel, the actions you take, how you behave in certain situations, then the reflection that you get from the outside world will change. And that's when you can actually start taking control of how successful you can be in life through warping the perception in which other people have of you, which sounds a bit fucking weird, but this is me just being raw and real, rather than trying to tell you airy-fairy stuff like just be the best you and do the best thing. It's like, it takes work. You have to think deeply about it, who you want to be, what does success look and feel like, what are the character traits of the version of you that you're trying to become. Because if let's say I call it the fat guy mindset, right? Fat guy, hairy, out of shape, has these beliefs like, if I look at a biscuit, I'll gain weight. I've always been the fat, funny guy, the drunk, the one that people take the piss out. But then sets this goal to be lean, strong, confident, have the aura, the charisma, the energy. He can set all the goals he wants in the world, but if he continues acting as if he is who he currently is, he's still identifying as that. Therefore, there's always going to be a slingshot. or an elastic band, I should say. He's going to push forward. He's going to add more pressure, add more stress, add more heat to his life, and he'll fall back the way. He'll fall back the way. But what you truly have to do is like choose your alter ego, and allow yourself to just transurf reality towards him and be him. Like, I think it was in the book Reality Transurfing, he says, set the final lens, the final slide. What does that look like in life to you when you're there? When you've got all the success, the freedom, the body, the girl, the money, everything. Why not act as if you are there now?
Mm-hmm.
What traits, what feelings, what confidence would he have when he's there? And just be that now. You know, have you ever heard the lottery ticket psychology?
No, mate, no.
This would be a good one. So, let's say you go into the local spa and you're like, you know what, I'm feeling kind of lucky today. You've got a wee bit of pep in your step. You buy a scratch card, you scratch it, you took the action, you played the game, you took the action to scratch the scratch card, you've already done it, you've invested. You put the scratch card in your pocket, you forget about it, remove all importance. You've already done the action and behaviour of someone playing the game. You crack on with your day, you go to bed at night, you wake up the next day, a phone call. National Lottery. Kieran, we're so happy you picked up on the first call. You've won £200 million, but it's going to be in escrow for the next 30 days and will be deposited on the 31st of this month. How do you feel? How would you
Over
feel?
the world's buzzing, excited, and you would just instantly start acting like that £200 million lottery winner.
You would start feeling everything. Stress would drop, importance would drop. You would stop giving a fuck about so many things. You would start probably like looking at investments. You start looking at like, oh, how can I invest in the best stuff to improve me as a person? Can I get this car? Can I do this? You'd start dreaming and realizing those dreams. So with that being said, why not, if that external reality set from the actions you took will be the dream state that you want to be in, why not embody that now and feel all the feelings of having the success before you've had it, and then let reality bend to your new perception in which you've created.
I like that, man. And it's like, at the core of it, mate, is like black and white as it is that fake it till you make it kind of reality, mate. And as well, like, one thing I've noticed, like, see when you just hold yourself a bit better, you speak a bit better, you challenge who you are perceived as, things start to change. Like, fast.
Very quickly.
Really, really fast, man. And it's like, even from the standpoint of like a one-man band business owner, like, if you make a quick change, people notice and they go, he doesn't normally do that. And then they get intrigued and they become curious. And that's one thing that I've really, really noticed. But even from a standpoint of the people around you, when you go through, like, as you touched on there, and I actually really liked that was when you were saying around about you were always like the loud guy and stuff like that. I can relate to that. We were actually having a conversation about that the other week when we were training.
Yep.
I was like, I'll just be high energy so I can give people energy. It's like, that's not what people need. But like, see, when you start to slow down, you start to think, people go, he's really listening, man. And then they become more curious of what you've actually got to say. So I really, really did like that, man. To kind of take a deep dive in, because you obviously mentioned quite a lot there around about like skateboarding at a young age, what that kind of influenced you into as such, man, and what that exposed you to at a young age, but then obviously quickly transitioning at the age of 15, 16 to then going into the gym and stuff like that, mate. What was like the immediate feelings, things and thoughts that you noticed around about yourself when you went from, I don't want to say like a toxic lifestyle, because that skateboarding sounded fun. Like,
it was great fun, the skateboarding, but it exposed me to elements that I would not normally not have been exposed to, you know. Hanging around with 35-year-olds that were just getting high all day, drinking at night, skating all day. Like,
you would look at them as if they were cool.
They were cool as fuck, yeah. They were cool as fuck at the time. They were the best on the board, but out with the skate park, what was going for them in life? I don't know. And I hate saying that because I'm still connected with some of these guys, but it's like, I knew there was more I wanted in life than that.
And I think a lot of people like will sit with that. See that statement there where you've went, I knew there was more I wanted from life. A lot of people will hear that and they'll get like a wee ooh feeling because they will want that. But again, it comes back to that they care too much about the opinion of others, or they care about what people say about what they're up to, that they won't actually do it. And like that feeling, like I know that feeling because I had it for so many years. It's fucking crippling. And you'll still do the same thing through comfort, as we talk about. So, well, obviously that this is when you were younger, and it will be more applicable in later life and stuff like that, right? But when you had that change to go, do you know what? I'm going to tidy myself up a wee bit here. I'm going to look after myself a wee bit more, man. Like, what was the immediate, like, progress or feelings or things that you noticed within yourself?
Consciousness.
Yeah.
Just being completely conscious over how I could hold frame in life. Like, setting up routines. I got right into productivity super early. You know, like, everything would be so neat and tidy. I went militant on everything. You know, as a young guy, making the bed perfect, keeping my workspace clean, tidy, everything matching. I used to like clean things down, and just almost a little bit like OCD. From going from a scrappy person to like flipping the script and being like, I used to say to myself, "You're a clean cut guy, clean cut, clean cut, clean cut," and that transcended to like physique, transcended to nutrition, conversations, how I would dress, everything. It was just like a level of consciousness that I had to like create. And then I would watch things like, you know, American Psycho, you know, the opening scene of that when he's like doing the face mask and he's like, I do like 100 push-ups every single morning and I wear this charcoal face mask and I do this and it like keeps my skin not puffy and all. And like, I'd watch these films and I was like, I get what he's doing. He's like, he's holding frame. He's taking control of how he wants to be presented in life. And it's just, again, that element of consciousness. And the gym's very good for that. See, when you learn what mind-muscle connection is, and you can consciously feel your muscle working under load and you're getting yourself stronger. And you know how clothes tend to feel in your body, what you like, what you don't like, how foods make you feel. I just went through a very long period of like deep consciousness. And that was probably one of the biggest things, you know? Because I think a lot of people are just consciously unconscious, going through life like, how you getting on, mate? Just plodding along. Like, what does plodding along mean?
Yeah, mate, yeah.
What does just getting by mean?
So you ask somebody, like, what you been up to? Fuck all, mate. And you're like, it's been 3 months. But they're so unaware of what's actually happened there.
Yeah.
I had a call with one of my guys, like, just, sorry to bother me that, man, but I had a call with one of my guys who's been with me for a year. And, like, this guy's battling a lot of stuff, man. Like, a lot of internal stuff, which is really cool. Like, it's hard for him. But he's going through, like, he's realising some of this like sabotaging behaviours he's had. He's realising his relationships with alcohol and drug, and it's all coming ahead. And then he had a wee moment, big moment over the past couple of months where he was like, fuck, everything's kind of went to shit. But then he sat down and I spoke to him. I was like, mate, look at everything you've actually done over the past year. And yeah, mate, you've had a wee hiccup. Like, it happens, mate. We'll move on from it. We'll learn from it and stuff. But so many people can get so locked in on like that one moment or that one wee area that you go like, mate, you've actually been cocaine free for fucking 11 months, man. Which is mega, man. But again, it was just, when you said that there, I just noticed that around about my client as such. But it's scary, and it happens back home. I don't know about anywhere else, but back in Britain, where a lot of people, you'll just, what you been doing, man? And they're like, fuck all. And so like within that 3 months, they've maybe got a promotion in work or something like that, or they've actually been training consistently. They're not aware. And what they are aware of is all the wrong things.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
well, here's a quote for you. It's like, it's hard to read the label when you're caught inside the jar.
I actually like that, mate. I like that, mate. It's very obvious, man.
You're in your own little state of being and whatever, and it's very hard to like wake up and look around you. Like we work with quite a lot of, you know, entrepreneurial types inside the program, and I was on a really good call the other day with one of my clients, Andrew Graham, scaling his business extremely fast, early business owner, probably not even a year in, but he'll turn $1 million this year. He's just smashed it out of the park. He's killing it. He's like, one of the things I get from you the most, Lewis, is the perspective you allow me to have, so I can actually be grateful for how hard I'm working. Because like, see, when you're just one of those people, it's like, you see the colour red, you go all in, you know what the bullseye looks like, and you're just shooting your shot every single day to try hit that. It can be very exhausting, but you can forget how far you've came. You know, so I think what I've always tried to do in my journey is like pause, reflect, stop before the next step, rather than just keep moving. Try to be a lot more cautious. I've made some mistakes in the past where I've just went too fast, and it's only led to, you know, setbacks down the line, you know.
It's just living in chaos, mate. Like
Living in
even that,
chaos.
like going from like thing to thing to thing to thing, and it's like, mate, we've all done it, man. Even if you are pushing or you're not pushing, you'll just like bounce about life, and before you know it, it's like, fuck, it's Christmas again. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean? But it's like what I've really learnt to do and what I'm still working on is actually, as you say, there, just sit with what you've achieved,
Mhm.
and maybe not what you've achieved as of yet, but what you've done to get to this point.
Mhm.
Because I remember the last time I was in Bali, and I was like, fuck, this is just flew by. I never actually sat at all and just went, fuck, I'm working remotely in Bali,
Yeah.
doing what I wanted to do, what I dreamed of like 5 years ago is what I'm doing.
Living it.
Yeah, living it, mate. Like living it. It was like the other week, which I found was pretty cool. Me and Georgia were up nice and early, delivering the Monday Mile call. And it was about 5:30, and I was like, right, we'll go down to Threshold, we'll go train nice and early. It was about 10 to 6, sun was coming up, and I'm like, nah, let's go get a wee coffee. Just slow down, sit by
Pause
the
it.
beach and watch a coffee, which is just
Mhm.
like, this is just the wee hang. And you don't need to do that, but find wee moments in your week, as you say, that will give you a bit of perspective, that will force you to
Yeah.
actually slow down just that wee bit. And I know this is around about like not giving zero fucks, right? But the core of this message is about gaining back control. So many people will go 100 mile an hour
Yeah.
and never actually have that feeling of control.
But to not give a fuck, you need to be so deeply infatuated with what your behaviors are day to day. Because I like the way I structure my days is like for peace. So I don't have any of that negative energy to give a fuck about anything. Anything that pops up that's a problem, I'm like, remove importance straight away. It's not a thing. It's cool. Good. Stepping the skills are up. Good. See, like this morning I woke up, Instagram taken down. I was like, good.
Like your full Instagram.
Yeah, but I'll get it back. You know.
I've been there, mate. I've
Yeah,
been there,
you've
mate.
been there.
I've
You
genuinely
went through
been there,
that.
man.
But it's like we things that pop up, and like when you engineer your routine, you know, I meditate in the morning, I'll do my journaling, I'll plan my day, I'll review a few things, play with the dog, go like a hour-long walk, have a sparkling water or coffee, and just like, I'm just being me. I'm just being me. There's nothing for me to get stressed about. And it's just living in a state of no stress. Like, everything's fine. Everything's good. The only real failure you can ever have is if you fucking die. That's real failure.
Yeah.
You've failed at life because well, not failed at life, but you've hit the end.
Yeah.
Anything between life and death is cool. And that's how you remove that pressure.
How do you get to that point?
Time. Time, self-work, getting to know yourself. Obviously, you invest heavily into you as a person. Same for myself, but it's like all my mentors, all the therapy sessions I've done, mental performance coaching sessions I've done, everything always stems back to like, how do you want to feel? It's a nervous system issue, right? Everything's down to your nervous system. If your nervous system is always fired up and off the charts and stressed, you'll have too much importance and care over every little minute detail. But see, when you're regulated, you're calm, you're chill, you're not overheating. Cool blue. It's not red hot anymore, it's just cool blue. It's like, cool, we'll deal with it, it's fine. Nothing's too big a problem here, right? And it's even if you're having a confrontation or argument, the person who wins is the calmest. Because the person's getting all raging and boiled up and heated. They deal with that, they carry that for weeks. And the cool guy is just like,
Moved on.
it's all good, man. I'm going to go have my espresso, my pain au chocolat. I'm going to have my sparkling water, and I'm going to listen to some, Power of Awareness by Neville Goddard and relax.
Just chill, man.
Yeah.
And it's like one thing I've noticed is, see, like, there'll be people, right, I can guarantee this, that will listen to that statement and it will annoy them.
Oh, stress them out.
Because they're in that high state. They're in that kind of elevated, like, you don't fucking get it, you don't get all this kind of stuff. But it's like you would 100% have been in that position at one point, mate, and then obviously doing, as you say, the work to change it. But like time, figuring out who you are, investing in yourself, man. There'll be a lot of people that get annoyed by this, but just will not do any of that work or haven't done any of that work.
Well, like I say this from a point of having been through smoking weed every single day, being completely burnt out, wanting to have killed myself at one point, falling asleep behind a wheel because I was so stressed and underslept, being in shape, being out of shape, battling elements of like really poor mental health. Like the list can go on. I went through a very messy 2 years, probably like 4 or 5 years ago, and I really thought that if this was what success felt like, then I will I'm more than happy never being successful again. So it's like you sometimes need to, again, have all the bad to appreciate all the good. And when you kind of learn to play the dance with the good and the bad, you can find that equilibrium and learn to be at peace. And like if something doesn't serve you, be willing to let it go, even if it sucks. If it's a relationship, if it's your loser friends that are always, you know, people can join a program and lock in for 10 weeks, but on the 11th week, now that they've lost X amount of body fat, they're feeling good, more confident. They go out back to the same environment which caused the problems in the initial place. They get in the gear, they get in the drugs, they get in the pints and they eat the takeaway, and they fill themselves with guilt and shame, and then they destroy everything they've done very, very quickly. So it's like you need to be able to detach completely from anything and everything that is actually slowing you down. And that's when you're like, you're an island. You're just on your own, like in this beautiful blue ocean. It's like, this is mine. This is where this is my safe haven here.
Wee pan of chocolate and espresso.
Yeah, this is where it's at. This is a cool life. Yeah.
And I like that as well, man, because it's like a lot of people when they think, oh, I don't give a fuck, it's like, I don't care, I'll say my opinion, I'll do what I want to do and all that kind of stuff. And for the most part, it's like, I'll be cheeky, I'll be arrogant, I'll say some controversial things, I'll probably have really bad standards, really bad boundaries, probably be out of shape, stuff like that, right? But in reality, to like not give a fuck is actually to detach yourself from the things that are holding you back in life.
Yeah.
And it comes back to that original thing that we were saying around about like when you talk about change, it's always met with a resistance. I like the noise of it's just always met with that kind of like feeling where it's like somebody's just punched you, you know what I mean? But that's like people get to the point where the decisions have to be made. It's like, do you need to get out of a relationship? Do you need to cut ties with friends? Do you need to leave a job that's got a pension? You've got mouth to feed. Like all these big decisions that people will go, I need to treat back the way. But that is like, I look at that as like, that's the kind of line. It's like you can jump over to, I don't want to say the good side, right, but you can jump over to that better life. But you need to have the tough conversations.
Massively, man.
But a lot of people will not do that. And like, I get it. It's horrible. It's hard. It's like not a nice thing, like to do the things. But that's why not a lot of people change. And it's like, you can say you don't give a fuck, but how many things in your life are you sitting, accepting and sitting too comfy with because it's an uncomfortable conversation?
I think to truly not give a fuck, you do need to actually give so much of a fuck about the really simple things. Like the people who give a fuck about the news, what their friends think, how, like, what's it called? You know, there's a law or a rule that's completely slipped my mind. Sunk cost fallacy. You know, they've been in something like a bad relationship or a job for a decade or something. So they're like, well, I've been in it 10 years now. I can't go back and
invested time in it.
Restart my life. It's like you can literally, with every breath, you can start again. You can literally change your life tomorrow if you just woke up and decided, today's the day. I'm just going to find the new path that I'm going to walk and click and go. And it will be messy and it will be scrappy and there will be friction. You know, your family might not understand, your friends might start looking at you differently, your current partner, if you're still with her, even off the back of the sunk cost fallacy thing. Like, you're going to go through a brutal period of, like, people will point fingers and say certain things. Like, I had that through skateboarding, had that through the gym. It's like, oh, you're just a skater boy, look at you, da, da, da. And it's like, when you start at the gym, it's like, okay, muscle man, like, oh, you're this guy. When I start posting social media, it's like, who do you think you are? So I've had my page on social media for years now, years and years and years, maybe 7-8 years, posting physique updates and transformations and speaking on mindset from a young age. And people always have an opinion. And then once the sands of time just take their full place, and it actually starts working out because you didn't sacrifice what you believe to be true. And everything in life is just beliefs. It's like, if you believe that, you know, getting in shape only requires 2 workouts a week, you get in shape doing only 2 workouts a week. A lot of people think more. It's actually less done better. But when time passes and you get that outcome you've truly wanted, people are asking you for, like, how did you do that, man? It's really inspiring. I always knew you could do this. You were always the one that just was trailblazing on your own different path. But it's not until you've been successful that people give a fuck. So you just have to be willing to go through that uncomfortableness of potentially letting other people down for the outcome of your own personal self-worth and happiness.
And that'll be tough for people to go through.
Yeah.
Especially from where we're from, man. There's a lot of comfort in people being around you. There's a lot of comfort in being like the cool guy or the cool girl and all that kind of stuff, man. So to go through that change is very, very tough. One thing that just pops into my head, but that I'm noticing, I think the next generation actually might be better at doing this than what we were. Because obviously we're the same age, mate. But I think, like, see the generation that's coming up between like 21 and younger, and it's probably one of the only good things, I say only, one of the good things that's actually came from social media. There's a lot of like younger people going into like wanting to become TikTok famous and stuff.
Yeah.
And when you actually like look into it a wee bit, they actually don't care like of the opinions of others. And I think like we are stuck in this kind of like grey area. Like we're like the young team era, right? But like I wouldn't even say the young team era, right? The young teams came and went. They kind of started to fizzle out a wee bit, and then like you had this like weird kind of limbo period where crypto was starting to come out and people, but like Instagram was getting big. Like we kind of didn't know what was
money.
Yeah, and like we were kind of like playing about with it, but we were still kind of scared of it and all that kind of stuff, man. And then like the younger generation are just like, right, we're taking over everything here, man.
Yeah.
So we are caught in this kind of like world where we don't want to be like with the older crowd and fucking regretting being a part of the young team and stuff like that, but we also don't get how they're living that life of freedom.
So true, man. So true.
It's crazy, isn't it? It's like the 90s, mate. The 90s are getting we're
like
stuck.
When, computers came around. Why do I need a computer? I've got the yellow pages. I've got this. It's like, and it's same with AI. It's same with everything. Change is uncomfortable. Change is inevitable as well. And it's either get with it or don't. Get left behind.
It's like the AI thing as well. Like, there's a lot of people that I know just around about like my close circle and stuff like that are only now just starting to understand ChatGPT. Do you know what I mean? And you're
so
just
you can speak to it?
It's like, mate, I got a full shopping list off it. You're like, yeah, man. You're like,
on,
cool, man. Do you know what I mean? My wee mom's like, have you seen this, man? It's,
I already coded it to be an employee.
Mate, so I've got extra mile assistant on it. Like, it's just a wee project at the side that just knows everything. And it's cool, like that's the things that you can obviously get with it, man. But I just noticed that from like the younger generation, man. And I think, like, not to say there's hope, but see, like, what would you kind of say to someone who is like around about the same age as us, right? And like there'll be a lot of identity crises going on right now, and people will blame us. COVID was the reason for it because everyone didn't know what they were doing and stuff like that. But I generally think it is because we were caught in a time of the world where there was a lot of change happening, and we were right in the heart of it, and people didn't like change. So if you've got a lot of people coming into their 30s, what would be your advice to them if they're worried for their next step in chapter because they don't want to stay the same, but they don't know what they want to do?
Okay, actually, what I would do, pen and paper out, line down the middle, I'd write you at the top, and say negative traits, and write down every negative trait you have. Maybe 10, 20, 30, 40, the list can go on. But write them down until you stop making sense of them because you're now just like nitpicking. But write every one of your negative traits down. Then cause that line in the middle, this is the separation. Then write, how can I turn that negative trait into a positive trait? And just start attaching a positive belief to every single one of those negative traits. Start working through that list of just, I'm going to work on this, I'm going to work on this, I'm going to work on this. It's maybe a never-ending to-do list. No one's perfect, but it's like if you can actually see what all your indeficiencies are, then attach your next best behaviour to correct those indeficiencies. You'll most likely find yourself starting to shift. Because again, you'll miss target if you don't know what you're aiming at. So it's just find out what you're aiming at. Character, Do you like the way you look? Do you like the way you feel? Do you like the way you think? Do you like your habits? Why does food have such a handle over you? Why does alcohol, drugs, porn? What's going on with your relationship? Why is there so many arguments and friction? Why is your money never right? Why do you always seem to be in the debt, in the hole with it? Why you wake up in the morning? Why is your body inflamed and in pain? It's like, get clear on it all. Get clear on it all. And be like, what would life look like if it was changed? And then that's where we have to put our focus, because if you're driving around the bend and you're only looking on the verge, you end up in a ditch. So always stay looking ahead. Always stay clear on what it is you want. That thing that I touched on at the start, what is that end screen? That's where you have to live. You have to remove all importance from all the other shit and just focus on, do you get a bug in the ear there?
No, it's water. I had a swim this morning.
There we
I think
go.
I just felt it pure
Man.
pop. I was like,
But you want to just set your focus on the final lens, man.
Mm-hmm.
And that, I think, like, that is that's a practice that you'll need to continue doing and refining. And every goal that you set, base it on I am, not I want, I need. Otherwise, you become like the needy ex-boyfriend who just wants and needs your mama back or your girl back. Everything's I am. State the identity of the wish fulfilled. Own the goal. Own it like you've already achieved it. Similar to the lottery ticket thing. And you will allow yourself to change. Like, I even do that with training. I believe in my head I'll get in the best shape of my life only training 3 times a week. A lot of people think, no, you need to do more. Now, I've rewired the belief systems in my head that training 3 times a week, intermittent fasting, doing 40 minutes of zone 2 cardio a week is the only thing you need to do to get lean, to get shape. Whereas in the past, it was like steroids, 7 days a week, double sessions.
Savage, man.
Like, punishment, sending it, overly restrictive diets, negative tendencies with it. It was always like a dark energy. You know, it was always coming from a sense of lack. But switching that to fulfillment, I'm grateful, I've got everything I need. This is the belief that I have now. That just takes time, but that's why you need to go through the negative and the positive beliefs. Start switching them, man. Start switching them.
I like that, mate. I think it's like the root of it is visualization.
Yeah.
Like sitting and going, as you say, mate, like the question that I will ask repeatedly of my members and even just my friends and my family and stuff is like, what do you actually want? And a lot of people, they'll flap a wee bit. But it's like, if you just sit with it and it's like, this is one thing that I do notice as well. A lot of people think they need to just go like, I've got it. This is what I want. It's like, nah, mate, like, I'm not asking you this question. Go away. Like, don't answer this now, man.
This
Like,
is a thinker.
if you could answer this now, then we'll shake hands, we're done. Like, do you know what I mean? But it's like, you do need to sit with it. And then what you touched on there as well is that you need to refine it. You need to go through it all the time. Nobody's perfect. It's like, you're always working on stuff. And see, like, if you think, it's like when you have a conversation with a client or one of your members and stuff, and you're like, even just black and white, like, everything good? And they're like, perfect. You're like, it's not. And it's like being like, you'll have times where everything's in flow state, of course, man. Be like, it's been 2 months, mate.
Yeah.
What's really happening? Like, no, I'm good, man. I'm like, you're not checking in with yourself enough. And that's what you actually need to do. You need to just sit with it and go, right, okay, that's going well. What maybe isn't? What maybe needs tweaked? What maybe needs worked on, man? But again, that comes down to how much you're in touch with yourself and how often you will check in with yourself, as you said there, man, writing the list down and going, right, what's all the negatives? How could we flip that in the switch?
100%. Like, every day for me, front and back end of the day, AM alignment, PM priming. It's just 2 pages
Ritual
of journaling, front and back end of the day. Before you go to bed at night, your brain is experienced everything it has to experience, but it's still super malleable before it goes into like deep subconscious rest, which is sleep. So you can fill your mind, you can literally blank out anything that's happened in the day bad, rewrite your passage, PM priming it at night time based upon everything you experienced that was good, and continue firing subconscious signals to your brain that things are good. Same with the morning. When you wake up, you're super malleable to being exposed to, it could be social media. Imagine jumping on your phone first thing in the morning, seeing something negative. It's going to have an impact on your day. Stating the I am statements first thing in the morning, you're gassing yourself up. You can feel it filling your body. You know, you can feel that identity getting solidified every single day you do that. But it doesn't happen in a day or a week, but a month or a year. That's when the compound effect of I am that motherfucker. I am him. This is who I've always needed to be. And then that's where you remove the importance, and that's when you're just like,
at peace.
Yeah,
man. And it's like, again, like, a lot of people will be listening to this and going, fuck, I thought it was going to be like, I need this, I need that, and that stuff. It's like, no, you need to find, like you said there, obviously, man, but I would call it like your rituals. Your things that you do. And this is where people go wrong, and you will say it so many times, people will still do it. It's no 30 days, it's no 60 days, it's no 90 days. It's fucking
years.
24/7, 365 days.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like 75 hard, it's like, what's that going to do? And I know it's got a point behind it, right? Sound, if you're somebody who does nothing, 75 hard might have a benefit, right? But is it, you'll see people going, I'm going to do another round of 75 hard. You're like, why don't you just do it? Why don't you just do that all the time, mate? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, 365 days a year and just kick on with it. And that's where people end up going from, I feel like I'm actually making progress, I'm a bit of control, to everything's AWOL.
Yeah, it's the all or nothing. You know, it's dry January, it's 75 hard, it's 12-week shred, it's always short time constraint, sacrifice everything in your life, go at it at 100 miles an hour and watch the wheels fall off. I'll be honest, used to be like that. We've got a very good capacity for just feeling horrible and still cracking on. I think as a coach, you kind of get...
You've got to have that about you sometimes, man. Like, it's like the new Ironman prep.
You're in the thick of it.
Yeah, man. Just in the doghouse, man.
I just don't even want to hear what your training week looks like, because like when you would hear mine, you're like, that sounds so nice. But then it's like, it gets to a point where it doesn't need to be painful, man. It doesn't need to be a struggle. Like I was telling my client what my diet is at the moment yesterday on a call, and he was like, what the actual fuck? How is that working for you? So I was like, you know, fast till 12, pan au chocolat, protein shake, nothing until 7 at night. And then I have like a 1,500 calorie meal of whatever, fancy, and a Magnum ice cream. And he's like, you're getting in shape doing that? What? I'm like, nah, this is just my calm structure. I believe that is going to get me in shape, and it is working. I still hit my macros, micronutrients are still high. Inflammation's low because I'm only eating twice a day, and my deficit's working. But again, people attach so much importance. It's like, I need to chicken, brown rice, broccoli 4 times a day. I need to be doing all this wild stuff. I need to be doing cardio at 4 in the morning and then a weight session at night. It should feel painful to be successful. No, it doesn't have to be. It can actually feel quite good. But if you choose the lens you want to be in from a success component, then it's just about what you want to be true being true.
What do you view as success?
What do I view as success?
No, just in general, like some people, like, what do you view as success? Because a lot of people do view that suffering and pain leads to success, so it needs to fucking hurt. And it's like, don't get me wrong, I do generally believe that there is a phase that you need to go through where you need to chew glass for a while. You need to go through that phase, and then, as I say, like when you just started training, probably eating a Magnum at the end of every single night maybe wouldn't have been the best idea.
This was only a year ago I started like calming things down. Like prior it was like I fucking used the stick over the carrot for 9 years to now feel what I feel now.
It's like earning the stripes.
Earning your stripes, 100%.
And it does actually change one of my questions, because one of the questions I wanted to ask is just about dream physique. We've obviously taken a lot of dive into like mindset side of things, man. But like, one of the driving factors for people to generally detach themselves from the feelings of comparison and the feelings of worry or what everyone else is saying is their physique. Like, that's just black and white. It generally is. So how would you say to someone how to actually achieve their dream physique? Because you are, in my opinion, someone who says they're a physique specialist that actually is a physique specialist, because you've got people who say they're a physique specialist and you're like, mate, you're not even in shape. Do you know what I mean? In the nicest way possible. So it's very, very intriguing for me to speak to someone who I would class as that's true to the word with that. What's not the process, someone just wants to get into their dream physique. What would you do with them?
This is great.
He's excited now, man.
Love this question. Literally. Choose your ideal weight that you want to be. Let's say you're 190 pounds. You want to get to, you've probably got 20 pounds of fat to lose, and you want to be 170 lean. Sub 10% body fat. 170 is your dream weight. Choose that weight, times it by 13. That's roughly 2,210 calories. Okay, so 13 calories per pound of ideal weight. 170 protein. 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. Boom. That's your protein. That's your calories. 10k steps a day gets you lean. 12k steps a day gets you shredded. It's just what it is. If you need to, three lifts per week. 3 lifts per week, reverse pyramid training. Get super strong on the key lifts. Squat, bench, deadlift, overhead press, weighted dips and chins. Done. A little bit of an accessory work for your shoulders. Don't train legs too much. Literally don't. 1 hard leg session a week is all you need, because it's going to impair your performance in other aspects if you're walking around like John Wayne. A lot of the time, you want to be able to hit your steps, you want to hit your zone 2. If your legs are so sore, it's going to hold you back. 2 upper body strength workouts per week, day on, day off approach, 4 rest days. In a month, you're only training like 13 times, 14 times. So some people are like, whoa, that's too little. So less is more, done better. Know your macros, know your calories, hit your steps, 8 to 9 hours of sleep if you can. Let your body flush. See, every time I go to bed at night and I go and I'm like, I'm going to have a good sleep tonight, I wake up leaner. Wake up leaner, your body flushes all the fatigue. But I think when you're training less, your stress is lower, cortisol is lower, you drop fatigue faster, your appetite's not spiking as hard, therefore you can actually adhere to your calorie deficit. A lot of people train too much and over diet, stress goes up, inflammation spikes, they burn out, they binge. So it's like, what's the exact opposite of doing that? That is literally, and if you just set those calories, you hit your 3 lifts, you get extremely strong. If you want, I'm not pushing it, but intermittent fast. 600-ish calories, break the fast at 12, don't eat anything till now at like 8 at night. Have a huge meal, 1,500 calories. You'll be sweet. Absolutely sweet. Sparkling water, black coffee, electrolytes all day, every day. And if you follow that blueprint, you're gonna drop a kilo a week, body fat. But it's the mindset and the peace that you have to have with it, because a part of you will want to do more and feel the suffering and feel the pain, the stress. But when you focus on this, it's just like you flow with it. There's a lot more you could dive into with the best ab workout, the best this, the best. But that's the simplest way to put it. You know, simplest way to put it.
And do you find that as well, see, because of the guys that you work with, heavy hitters, busy, on the go all the time, stress is high through career, do you think that's just like the sweet spot for them?
They love hearing it. They fucking love hearing it.
See, the stress just go.
And I'm like, yeah, it's only 3 days a week. Day on, day off approach. Only to do legs once every 10 days. And I'm like, what?
Where have you been all my life?
Yeah. And it's like, so what's your favourite foods? It's like, let's put this in place. Let's break the fast with maybe, what's your favourite pastry? Like, what pastry? Like, yeah. Do you like almond croissant? Do you like a pan au chocolat? Do you like that? It's like, yeah, I love that. Have that then. Just marry it with a bit of protein here.
Yeah, man.
Do this, do that. But it's like the simpler and the easier, because I used to be complicated. I've done the complicated way and got great results. I've done the simpler way, got great results. But my audience is like matured with me. When I was like 23, 25, I would push the hardcore. And it had to be hardcore because that's what I believed. But see, now as I've gotten older, got to pivot things. Pivot things. Always never have a dogmatic approach. I'm never saying the principles don't change. They can do, but they get simpler. They get simpler for sure.
I think as well, just what you touched on there, like with like when you were younger, like 23 to 25, I think like see if you had someone who was like, I mean, you got to go here, man, and you're like only training 3 days a week, they'd be like, no. Like, and as you touched on there, like it's very applicable to the person. It's like if you've got someone at 21, 22, man, and they're like, mate, I want to fucking train. Cool, man.
Let's go, man.
Let's go.
I'll let them do it.
But again, if you say, like, even talking about your client earlier on who is pushing to break $1 million in his first year, probably doesn't need a push-pull leg split. Definitely doesn't, man. And it is, I think, like some people will always look for quantity because there's a franticness around it, man, but quality is above all, man, which I really like. And with yourself, like pushing obviously this stuff, mate, like even just to take a wee deep dive into, because a lot of people maybe just think like, all right, cool, man, he's just training 3 days a week and just try to sell the dream and stuff like that. Like obviously you were in a doghouse for like years and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And the one that really stands out to me, and I was like, mad cunt, absolute mad cunt, was the marathon. And was it the Alps up in France? Where did that come about? Because that was very much, this is actually very much in line of being just rogue like you are. Why did you pick the one up in the mountains and how was it?
It was awful. A little bit of a story on that. So like me and Amy were going on a big adventure, big travel trip we were doing. It was like the French Alps bordering Switzerland, so very, very high up. Crazy climate. And then it was like Australia and New Zealand, and it was like a big 4-month trip or something. But I was in a really good headspace at the time. I'd want to, set myself a challenge. I was at a point where I was like getting into my running. And I was like, I'm gonna do like I think it was just over a marathon, it was maybe 50k, I was like, I want to do this weird off the cuff mountain marathon. because I actually quite like running in the hills rather than just a long straight
Peaceful.
or the city. So I entered this marathon in the middle of fuck all nowhere, a place called Livigno, right dead centre between the periphery of the French border and Switzerland. So I went up there, flew into Milan, drove 8 hours into the Alps. No, it was actually the Italian Alps, sorry, not the French Alps, sorry. All the way up from Milan into this little wooden town. It was like made of fucking Lego, this place. It was really bizarre. And this is where this big mountain marathon was. Pardon me, this big mountain marathon was. So, entered it. There was only about 12 to 15 people doing the run,
Right.
this marathon.
Mm-hmm.
Told us to show up at 6 in the morning. It was freezing, ice cold, no shops open. I'd done the marathon without fuel.
Fuck off.
Mind those sweets that you get in holiday, it's like a coffee chocolate pod,
Yes.
and you bite into it, it's like goo comes out.
Uh-huh.
I had 2 of them as my pre-fuel for 50k through the mountains. And then started off, it was freezing so hard to get warm. You could see your breath in the air. By, 20 k's in, blistering heat. So exposed, top of the mountain, so close to the sun. Crystal clear skies, no clouds. And it was like, there was only so many people doing this run, like 15 or something, 20 people. So the pack was so spread.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just a solo, fasted, mindset mountain run. And the blistering heat.
Sorry, mate. It's just
And it
so
was like-
horrible.
Absolutely shit. Absolutely shit. There was a point in the run. I saw these mountain bikers going by. And the only thought I had was if I brick one of these guys and kill him
Yeah.
and take his bike, no one would know. Because there's no one for miles. And I just cycle the rest of it, ditch it last 5k and cross the finish line with a smile on my face. I was in a dark place because my fucking AirPods ran out and everything. It was just like, it was just out there, man. And I think in the last 10k there was a guy gave me a beer or something. That was the worst mistake ever.
Did you tan it?
Smashed it.
Did you?
It was a warm beer. Smashed it and felt horrible for the last 10k, but it was like my camel pack had ran out.
Oh,
Fueling stations were maybe like 15 to 20k apart.
fucking hell, man.
Sucked. And it was a double loop. It wasn't like an out and back, it was just a double loop.
Oh, mate, that does sound absolutely terrible.
Rough,
Because I
man.
remember like seeing it happening, and I can remember it was just something about it. Like I can't remember what you said, but I was like, I don't think that went to plan. I think
It went
it did
awful,
go to
man.
plan. Has there been any more like running adventures since that? No.
No, I think I done a marathon last year and just got it done in just over 4 hours or something. Just ran around Millport as many times as we had to. Me and my client Sean, good friend as well. That was great. Felt great for that awesome run. I'm not the biggest on long distance or endurance.
yeah.
It's actually like quite mental. I'll do it every so often, do a Misogi, choose a challenge, attempt it, crack it, have a high likelihood of failure, give it my best
Yeah,
shot.
See what happens.
But I'm a lot more comfortable in my 3 days a week.
100%.
And my pastry.
What in your pastry, mate? I love that, man. I love that. What jinx next for Lewis McFarlane? Like I know you touched on there, mate. Like that you sometimes just dip into a random challenge or whatever, but right now you just seem to be in a very calm spot in your life, mate.
Just continue that.
Yeah, man.
Getting
Yeah.
married this year in September. Decided that I'm going to grow and scale the business this year, only working 25 hours a week. Going to be in elite best shape. I'm actually downsizing right now. Downsizing, get to a nice lean, healthy weight, get really strong in the core lifts and make money, have fun, help people, dial in the niche even harder and harder and try to become like a industry leader in that specific field of helping like execs, entrepreneurs and really ambitious guys stop doing as much shit, just do less better and have fun doing it, tapping on their purpose, their physique, their productivity, perform at a nice level where it's not like destroying them.
I love that, mate. I love that. And again, it's just the less is more.
Less
I
is
really
more,
like
man.
it, man. And just, as I say, I think there is one thing that I've just kind of taken away from this whole conversation, and I hope the guys listening will be the exact same, is like, it's not so much that you need to become arrogant, you need to tell people to fuck off. You just need to get really clear on what you actually want.
Yep.
And home in on that, no matter what the opinion of others are. And even like for myself, had I not done that about 6 years ago, maybe we wouldn't be sitting having this conversation. Had I not done that maybe 2 years ago, wouldn't be in Bali right now. And it's like sitting having the kind of moments where you go, no, this is what I want to do. In my opinion, fucking go on with it. And if you have that, it's that feeling of go for it, man. Like that's a telltale sign. When you get that kind of like that feeling in the back of your neck where you go, oh, I don't know, man. That's normally a telltale sign that you should go for it. And even like one thing that I always kind of notice is, see if I feel that overwhelming feeling. I used to think it was like anxiety. It's not anxiety. It's just I'm overwhelmed. But like if I've got that overwhelming feeling, it's like in my head I'm like, okay, you need to do this, man. And that's like the kind of that pushing part, man.
Massively, man. And like every action has an equal opposite reaction, you know. So not doing the thing you know you're called to do will have a horrible reaction down the line, and vice versa. So it's like follow your intuition a little bit more. This is not always right. Sometimes the gut and the heart will guide you to where you need to be. You just got to follow that noise a little bit better.
Man. 100%, man. But nah, mate, I really enjoyed that conversation, man. Before we finish up, man, do you want to share, well, I was going to say your socials and stuff like that, mate?
If I have them back.
If you have them back, mate, well, even, is it just been shut down?
Maybe come out of this podcast and I'm lucky and I refresh it and it's back, hopefully. But yeah, Lewis McFarlane Coaching on YouTube, share longer form stuff 3 or 4 times a week. Instagram will be the same, Lewis McFarlane Coaching. And yeah, that's pretty much it. YouTube and Insta. I think I've got a LinkedIn.
Yeah, somewhere.
I think Amy manages that. TikTok as well. Amy manages that. I don't really use the app, but those are run by me, the Instagram and YouTube.
Perfect. But guys, if you've enjoyed this episode, man, make sure to give Lewis a follow, man. Tune into his YouTube channel. It is really starting to grow at a very, very fast rate, which we've seen, man. I'm going to pick his brains on that soon as well. But he's really starting to see growth in his YouTube, man. He's bringing out really good content every single day, so make sure to subscribe to it, man. And as always, guys, if you've enjoyed this podcast, tell someone close to you to tune in and listen to it, because the lessons that you'll take from this podcast could be the defining factor to your next stage in life, and we will catch you in the next one.